The Economic Clock: Decoding the Hidden Machinery of the Modern Economy by Dart Al Wooden. The wheels of the watch are all admirably adjusted to the end for which it was made, the pointing of the hour. All their various motions conspire in the nicest manner to produce this effect. If they were endowed with the desire and intention to produce it, they could not do it better. Yet we never ascribe any such desire or intention to them, but to the watchmaker, and we know that they are all put into motion by a spring, which intends the effect it produces as little as they do. Adam Smith. Part 1: Seeing the Clock. Understanding the system we think we see. 1. The dial. 2. The case. Chapter 1: The dial. The morning numbers. Every morning, before factories start their machines and before commuters fill the highways, the economy produces a number. The number appears on a screen across the world at precisely scheduled times. 8:30 a.m. in Washington. Traders sit in front of glowing monitors inside offices in New York and London. Television studios prepare their graphics. Financial reporters refresh the government website, waiting for the data release. Then the numbers arrive. US GDP grew at an annual rate of 3.1%. Within seconds, the reaction begins. Stock prices jump, bond yields shift, currency rise and fall. Television anchors lean forward to interpret what the numbers mean. Is growth accelerating? Is inflation about to rise? Will central banks change interest rates? Across the political world, statements appear almost instantly. Government officials praise the strength of the economy. Critics question whether the number hide deeper economic problems. Economists debate whether the figures are sustainable or temporary. The numbers spread through the global financial system in minutes. It becomes the story of the day. Yet there's something strange about this ritual. This number seems to describe the economy, but it does not explain it. Gross domestic product, GDP, is meant to represent the total value of goods and service produced within a country. It condenses millions of economic activities into a single figure. Factories building cars, farmers harvesting crops, software companies writing code, hospital treating patients, construction firms building homes, retailers selling products to households. All of these activities combine into the statistical report that morning. From that number, commentaries attempt to infer the conditions of the entire economic system. If GDP rises, the economy is growing. If it falls, the economy is shrinking. If growth slows, analysts worry about recession. The number becomes a kind of a scoreboard. But just like any scoreboard, it tells you only the results of the game, not how the game is played. By the time the GDP number appears, the decisions and events that produced it have already happened. The statistic is a summary, a measurement, a snapshot of a vast machine that has been moving for months or years. To understand this distinction matters. Imagine standing in front of a large mechanical clock mounted on a wall of a railroad station. The dial shows the time clearly, two hands sweeping across the numbers. From a glance, you know whether it's an early morning or late evening. But the dial does not explain how the clock works. Behind the face of the clock lies a mechanism, springs storing energy, gears transmitting motion, and delicate components regulating the speed at which the system moves. The dial shows the results of that mechanism. It does not create it. Economic indicators perform the same function. GDP, unemployment, inflation, and stock market indexes are the dial of the economic clock. They display the motion of the system, but they do not reveal the forces driving it. Understanding the economy, therefore, requires more than reading the numbers on the dial. It records it requires opening the case and examining the mechanism inside. Energy systems powering machines, production networks transferring raw materials into goods, markets coordinating billions of decisions, financial institutions stabilizing investments and credits. The numbers we watch each morning are only the surface. They show us what the system is doing, but they do not explain how the system works. This book begins with that simple observation. Many people think they understand the economy because they see the dial. But the dial is only the beginning of the story. To understand the system itself, we must open the clock. The economy as a scoreboard. Once the morning number is released, the interpretation begins. Economists study it, journalists translate it, politicians argue about it. Investors bet billions of dollars on what it means. All of them are looking at the same thing, the scoreboard. Modern society treats the economy much like a game whose progress is tracked through stats. Every few weeks, new figures appear that supposedly reveal whether the system is winning or losing. GDP, growth, inflation, unemployment, consumer confidence, stock market performance. Each number arrives with its own narrative. The indicators become the language through which society discuss economic realities. And because they are reported constantly, they begin to define how people think about the economy itself. Ask someone how the economy is doing, and the answer will almost always be involving numbers. The economy grew 3% this year. Unemployment is near a record low. Inflation is finally coming down. These statements sound precise. They feel authoritative, but they conceal an important truth. The numbers do not describe the economy directly. They summarize it. Consider the unemployment rate. Every month, governments estimate how many people in the labor force are actively seeking work but unable to find it. The results appear as a percentage, 4%, 5%, perhaps higher during recessions. But that number hides millions of individual stories. A construction worker laid off after a project ends. A college graduate searching for a first job. A factory worker retraining for a new industry. A parent returning to the workforce after years at home. Each of these experiences contribute to the statistics. The unemployment rate summarizes them, but the number itself cannot reveal why those people are unemployed or what changes are reshaping the labor market. GDP works in a similar way. Every quarter, statistical agents attempt to estimate the total value of goods and service produced within the economy, manufacturing outputs, retail sales, construction spending, healthcare services, financial activity, government spending. When economists add them together, the result is GDP, a single figure meant to represent the scale of national production. The number is powerful. It allows economists to compare economies across time and across countries. But GDP does not explain the forces producing that growth. If the number increases, we know that the economy produced more goods and services than before, but we do not immediately know why. Perhaps new technology improved production. Perhaps energy prices fell. Perhaps government spending increased. The statistical records the outcome, not the cause. Yet, despite these limitations, economic indicators remain essential. Without them, government and business would struggle to understand the condition of the economy. Imagine attempting to navigate a large ship without instruments. A compass shows directions. It does not explain the geography of the ocean. In the same way, GDP, inflation, and unemployment shows patterns within the economy. They do not explain the underlying mechanism producing those patterns. The distinction between measurement and explanation is the central theme of this book. Where did the numbers come from?